All right, yo, what is up, y'all? I wasn't planning on making a UFC video mainly about like the press conference and stuff, but I feel like maybe this is a little something that I could start doing. I wanted to go through the whole entire press conference, but I just feel like, man, why would I go through this whole boring ass press conference? Which it is. Like, I don't think anyone saw this. This was early as hell. I woke up at like I think like around 9. Maybe should have woke up a little earlier for this damn press conference, but I woke up at around 9 to tune into this damn press conference. And man, just bro, this shit was dog ass, man. I mean, I'm not gonna say it was dog ass, but I'm gonna keep it a hundo with y'all, man. What the fuck is Dana doing? What are press conferences now? Now, I mean, you had 320, which if I'm right, 320 didn't even have that many people on it, but I could be wrong because I'm trying to think. Yeah, that I don't think they had that many people. I mean, if I'm right, I think Patchy Mix was up there. I could be wrong, but maybe there were a lot more people. I don't really remember now, but I remember 320 or my bad. I remember this press conference, and I vaguely remember just certain things. Mainly, Cyril Gahn or Tom Aspinall is gonna have to bring a pillow for Cyril Gahn because he's gonna be getting knocked out, which I thought was pretty funny. There wasn't much trash talking going between these two. Same thing with John Jaroba and Dern. They both got asked questions, and it was mainly about the rematch that it was like the rematch and how they've changed, I guess, how they've developed their game. And Mackenzie Dern is now on I think a 2 fight win streak, and John Jaroba is on like an 8 fight win streak or something. She's on a pretty crazy win streak right now. But them just kind of talking about how them going through like a bunch of changes. John Jaroba, I don't really remember, but Mackenzie Dern was really talking about her nose and whatnot. This is one of those fights where it's like I can't believe this is a rematch. Like I didn't even know this was a rematch. I guess I don't really care. Nothing against the ladies, but like I just whatever. I think with these two, more on Dern's side, it really shows you know how just not good the strawweight division is. Nothing against Mackenzie Dern, but I think John Jaroba is actually the one that has progressed in a very good way. And I think if John Jaroba stays the strawweight champion, she will probably reign. I don't know for super duper long. I don't know. Strawweight is a fucking I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to get this like deep fucking details about strawweight and shit. It's not even that good of a damn division. And then you got Umar and Mario Bautista. Someone asked Umar about Marab. Umar was basically done with that shit. He was like, "Yo, brother, I don't want to talk about him no more, brother. He's just very he's too boring, brother." That's how Umar was basically. It's basically what Umar was saying. He was just too boring to talk about. And then saying that potentially him versus Mario could be a number one contender fight, which Dana was like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, you think that? You go out there and you fucking prove these sick fucks what a real number one contender fight is." And Umar was like, "Yes sir, yes sir." Just changed into Mike Tyson for a minute, but yeah, I mean, overall, like I can't even say anything about this press conference because once again, nothing fucking happened. There's a lot of respect for everyone on that table, and I just think it was, or I guess not on the table. Why did I say that? But at the press conference, and I don't know, man. It would have been cool, maybe to get some Nathaniel Wood versus Jose Delgado, maybe Jung Young Park, right? Yeah, because Jung Young or I'm getting them mixed up, but the middleweight, the turtle guy, I forgot who he's fighting, but he's fighting somebody that's pretty well known, if I'm right. Just a middleweight prospect that if you're a real hardcore, you know who it is. I should be right too. It is a pretty solid fight, I think. Who else is under that card? I mean, Rakic, Azamat, Volkov, and fucking Almeida. I mean, seriously, Volkov and Almeida, that is a number one contender fight. And why is that not on the press conference? And it's probably because there's just no promo around these guys. There's not enough, and I'm not going to say shit talking. I'm just going to say more of there's just not enough good questions, man. Genuinely, overall, these questions that are asked in press conferences are so fucking dog water. They're not good. I wouldn't say they're bad. They're very much just maybe non-biased 50-50 between the fights, like how these journalists want to ask questions and stuff. They just keep it very like not biased. But I want fans to ask questions, man. I want press conferences to be real fucking shit, dude. I think the one thing that was pretty cool about this press conference, you had Tom Aspinall, which this was crazy because in the pre-press conference, this happened like, I think it was like right after 319 happened, if I'm right. It was Tom Aspinall gone. I think John Jaroba, Dern. It was the same fucking big six. Aspinall was, answering a question and people were booing him. But in this press conference, Gane, especially being in Abu Dhabi, because if I'm right, Gane has, in his last three, I could be wrong because his Spivak fight may have been in France, but I think Spivak was in Abu Dhabi. I could be really wrong. But his last 2 or 3 performances have been in Abu Dhabi. But he was getting booed, man. It was actually kind of crazy seeing that. He was getting booed. There was like a crowd of like people from London. You could see them motherfucking, not see them, but you could hear them Englanders. The Englanders. I don't know. I was trying to come up with some dumbass word and it did not work. But anyway, he's got some, English folk that are sitting over in the corner and they're like, yo, hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Like, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Tom Aspinall, one reason why I'm doing this video too is because what is next for Tom Aspinall? One man that I would have loved to see at the press conference ask Tom Aspinall a question is Daniel Cormier. Because if you don't know, now you know. Tom Aspinall, Daniel Cormier, they did a little like one-on-one interview. After the interview, I think, or even before, I'm not very sure. It was Aspinall or Cormier. One of them had their mic on, and Cormier basically told Aspinall that the heavyweight division just sucks. He's going to do great things. Aspinall, he is going to be one of the greatest if he can beat Gane and then, go on to fight either Almeida or Volkov. Because I guess DC was kind of asking what is he going to do after this? And Aspinall told him straight that he's going to fight the winner of Almeida versus Volkov. DC said that Almeida cannot fight, which I thought was fucking hilarious. Not in a, satire way. It's just, I think it's so funny, and not really funny, but it really shows that these dudes, no shit, obviously they have a professional job, but they're just hiding behind a facade, behind a character. DC on the mic at 321 is not the DC that talks to Tom Aspinall. And that is just fucking stupid. I don't know if I've already gotten into this rant. I hate the commentary team. I hate Jon Anik. I hate Joe Rogan. I hate DC. I don't hate them as individuals. They are great people, successful fucking people. DC, legend in the UFC, one of the greatest fucking UFC fighters of all time. Jon Anik, one of the greatest commentators ever. I don't care. Like, I will stand on that. Jon Anik is a really dope guy. And a good commentator. Like, for real, he is really cool. Joe Rogan, back then, I would say is an amazing commentator. Amazing. But I just feel like as he has gotten, older in the sport and stuff, and he doesn't bring that energy anymore, and it's mainly because of age. Same thing with DC. DC's retired. He's just trying to chill, trying to make a check. All of them really are. It's just not good commentating. I was watching Yuri and Khalil Roundtree. I was watching 320 back, and I was watching that third round, and man, the bias towards Khalil Roundtree, and it is because Joe Rogan knows Khalil Roundtree, but I just think that, when it comes down to an actual commentary team, it should kind of be like Guru's Lives, you know what I'm saying, where he's giving kind of breakdowns on what's happening. You never get that. I literally will put my phone down. I swear to God, I will put my phone down on a UFC fight, and I will go do something just to listen to the fight, and I'm listening to Bisping talk about I don't even fucking know, dude. Just trying to crack some fucking joke, Paul Felder, he's probably one that I would say is a little biased, but he's probably one of my favorites. Paul Felder, Laura Sanko. That might be a little bit of a hardcore take, but I actually think Sanko is really not that bad, mainly because she actually engages with the fights. I have heard people kind of bitch about her, when she screams for knockouts, she's like, ah, like people say she ruins them, but, I don't know. This is just my little rant. This is just really my rant about why is the UFC, we need more people like the dude who's the fucking mascot. If you know what I'm talking about, the dude that's just bleed, that guy, that fucking guy, just bleed, that fucking dude is 100% what the UFC should be, and it's not like that. At least At least now, it's not like that. It's very bland. It's very dry. They let the fights speak for themselves. And sometimes the fights ain't always going to speak for themselves, man. Like, I'm just going to keep it real. This press conference, there should have been a lot more back and forth. Maybe not with Gane and Aspinall. I like Aspinall. I think he's a really humbled guy. I mean, he even said that this fight was going to go to a split decision, which listen, I'm going to say this much. I am not, I can take that. Like, I honestly could see that happening. I can see Gane being the toughest matchup for Aspinall. I know most people probably aren't going to, like, agree with that. I don't really agree with that either. Like, I think that, I mean, I said it, so it's like I kind of have to agree with it, you know. But I think that Gane, especially coming into this fight, he does look a lot better compared to Volkov. Even Spivak, I feel like he wasn't even training nearly as much compared to now. I think Gane will show some problems for Aspinall. I'm not sure what though. I mean, I think if Gane can just stay lengthy, you know, keep that range, stick to his kicks, his teeps, question mark kicks, spinning kicks, like, I think he'll be fine. But I think the second Gane tries to exchange and tries to, I guess, attack Aspinall, I mean, not even attack, but I'm just saying come in. I mean, Aspinall's fast, man. He is so fast. Like, I think he's faster than Gane, like, seriously. So I think Aspinall, I mean, he just needs that touch. He needs to just touch you, bro. He needs to just touch you, and you're going down folded, and it's over. I mean, but Gane, I don't know, man. He's one of those technical heavyweights where it's a little difficult to like read him, I guess. Not really read him, but it's like, you know, when he had the fight with Ngannou, kind of, you know, wasn't the best fight, mainly because Ngannou pressured him in the wrestling. John Jones. Why did that fight end so early? Because fucking Gane got out wrestled. He just got out grappled. So I think if Aspinall really wants to win this fight, he needs to take it to the ground, get a straight arm lock like he did to Volkov, and yeah, call it quits. I think Gane, for him to win, is just keep it very lengthy, keep it distancy, you know, keep back from Aspinall. Do not exchange with him at all. If you're going to, you know, strike, use your fist at all, I would say just, you know, pop that jab out every now and then, and that's probably about it. Maybe some body shots too. I feel like Aspinall's never really been tested to the body. Leg kicks too. You know, he had that knee injury. I mean, he is obviously healthy from it, but hey, you never fucking know what you could do. But anyways, besides me bitching about the press conferences, or about the press conference, because like I said, I don't really have much to bitch about. I think one more thing that I can mention is about Bautista. Mario Bautista made I wouldn't say a really good, like, point, but he shot a really good promo for himself, I guess. I just want to say, since Mario Bautista beat Patchy Mix, I think Mario Bautista has really, I've kind of been a fan of him. I'm not gonna lie, he really wants to prove himself. Do I think he could beat Umar? I'm not sure. I don't think so, mainly because Umar is just a weird striker and a weird wrestler at the same time, like, just weird MMA fighter overall. Mario's one too. I mean, you know, he goes from having a really boring performance, and he beats a, you know, not a so great guy, you know, nothing against Patchy Mix, but we all were thinking kind of highly of him during that fight. And then Mario Bautista exposed him pretty bad too. Maybe not, you know, as bad, but I think Mario Bautista really did show that he is here to stay in the top 15. Umar, you know, I will never really be that high of Umar just because he got one win off of a top 5 contender, which is really good. I'm not going to hate on that, but it was a very boring performance. A lot of people started overrating him. Remember that, bro, like, never forget that time, man, when people were calling Merab a duck. I thought Merab deserved his 6 months. I know that he just became a champ, but Merab was already riding out on he's on a 15 fight win streak now, so he was on a 12 at that time. So yeah, you know, he had his leg that was fucked up. I think he had if I'm right, it was like something with his back, but I could be wrong. But it was something with his leg. I think his toe. He broke his toe before UFC 311. I don't know. All the shit that came out on Merab, like, not out on Merab, but a lot of shit that people were just throwing at Merab because he just wanted to fight this one dude that everyone just started to overrate for whatever fucking reason. I just never could become a fan of Umar. Now, after 311, I have become a little bit of a fan of Umar. I think that fight was really interesting. Especially, you know, in the beginning, he did start to show that he could dominate the fight. But of course, as it went on, Merab just fucking took over. So yeah, I mean, that's really all I got to say about this press conference. If I could rate it, like, shit, I'm gonna give like a 1. Like, genuinely, there was nothing that interesting that happened. I guess I wouldn't give it a 1. I guess I'd give it maybe like a 3. I mean, there was just a couple things that happened. I think it would have been a lot more better with more fucking fighters. And yeah, just once again, not really that great. So I'm now going to move on to the predictions because I don't really care to talk about this fucking press conference. I've already been talking about it for a little bit. So let's move on to, oh shit, hold on. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, I fucking wanted to make sure that I'm still because what's it called? I did my slide. I did the fucking UFC super fight, so I wanted to make sure that my video wasn't like super zoomed in, which it might be, but whatever. Um, we have the main card. We're just gonna start from bottom or top to bottom. I'm not gonna go through every single fight because I'm gonna keep it real. Some of these dudes I do not fucking know. I have no shame to say that. So I'm just gonna go with top to bottom, and then the ones near the bottom, I'll see what's up. So Tom Aspinall versus Gane. I got Aspinall. I think Aspinall can probably get a submission second round. I would say maybe early third round, but I think this fight is going to go a little bit longer. Unless Aspinall does what Jones did and just gets him to the ground. I mean, that will be a very easy win for Aspinall, and it will a 100%. I don't care. It will call for Jones versus Aspinall, especially if Jones fights Pereira. I think, and I've thought of this for a little bit, that I don't know if they can do this anymore, or anymore. I don't even know if they can do this in general. But if they're going to get John Jones back, get him on a 2-fight contract. The first contract fighting Pereira, guaranteed number 1 contender spot, guaranteed title shot next. Next contract, fight Tom Aspinall. That is 100% what the contract should be. Of course, Jones, knowing his little fruitcake ass, I guess that's what I'll call him. He's going to back out somehow, $30 million or not. It don't matter. He doesn't want to fight Aspinall. So, which is crazy because Aspinall's been super respectful about it, which I don't know. But anyways, besides the diddler, we're going to be talking about, I want to go through this prediction, my bad. I got Tom Aspinall late second round, I would say. Maybe early too. I could just see second or third round. Submission. Don't know what it could be. Maybe an arm triangle. I mean, really, I don't know. I feel like when it comes to heavyweights, you never fucking know. Tom Aspinall did try to say in the press conference that heavyweight's the most dangerous division, and it's completely surprising what will happen. If Tom Aspinall was in a weight class below, I could believe that, but he's literally in a weight class where it goes 1, 2, 3, 15. Seriously, if you get what I'm saying, champion, ranked 1, ranked 2, ranked 3, everyone else is just 15. It's all just a fucking free-for-all in heavyweight. So, Moving on to the next fight, though, for our predictions. Vinar Jandiroba versus Mackenzie Dern. I got Jandiroba by armbar. Maybe not. I could also see this going to a decision because Dern is not a bad grappler herself. She had a really nice armbar against Hebos. This is a rematch. I mean, I guess I'm not gonna lie. Dern could probably expose Jandiroba if it really got to that. Maybe we could actually see some really solid jiu-jitsu from the two. But I got Jandiroba. I'd probably say 4th round armbar, 4th, 5th round armbar. She kind of goes for those late subs. So, Moving on to the next fight, we got Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Bautista. I don't want to go with Umar. I want to go with Bautista by decision, but I feel like, it's Umar. He's going to win. It's just bound to happen. This is a bounce back. Bantamweight, try not to give your number 1 contender a top 8, not even a top 8, a ranked 8 or fucking below, my bad, I was about to say above or below opponent. They do it every time. I know Jan, he wanted to fight someone, so they gave him McGee, but Umar fighting Bautista, Figueiredo fighting Jackson, Jesus Christ, bro, the bantamweight division, they literally just throw whoever at these fucks. So, I'm gonna go with Nurmagomedov. I'm gonna go with Umar. Yeah, I got Umar, decision. I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy. I think he's just going to grapple fuck. So, yeah. Moving on to the next fight, Volkov versus Almeida. I got Almeida. Nothing against Volkov. I just think Almeida, dominant grappler. Once he gets you to the ground, very dominant. And he just keeps you there. Volkov, very lengthy. He's a fucking freak of length. I don't know if that's an AO moment. It might be. But overall, I don't know. His performance, people say it was a robbery, whatever. I'm not going to, even I would say it was a robbery, but whatever. It wasn't a super great performance either way. You don't want a robbery to happen, then, win the fight, finish the fight. Nothing against Volkov, but I think I have Almeida, decision fight as well. And yeah. Moving on to the next one, Rakic versus Azamat. I got Azamat by knockout. I know a lot of people don't really think as high on Azamat, especially because he popped for steroids, but this dude's scary. Like, I'm just going to keep it real. I think this dude is genuinely scary. He's on a 5-fight win streak. If I'm right, it's like a 4 or 5. No, it's 4. It's a 4-fight win streak. 3 of them coming by knockout, which actually I could be wrong. I think all of his wins are by knockout. This dude is fucking scary, bro. I'm just going to keep it real. Rakic, I'm not saying Rakic is bad. He's definitely a solid kickboxer, but I just feel like with his last performances, he really just hasn't caught a break, caught a lot of damage in my opinion. And Azamat is clean, and I think he could knock out Rakic for sure. So that's what I got Azamat by. I'd probably say second round knockout, third round, but then again, it could be another decision fight. So moving on to the next one, Nasrat Hakparast versus Quillan Sakild. I knew I was going to fuck up his last name. Yes, it's Ikram that he's fighting. That's what it is. It's Ikram and Jung Young Park. That's what it is. Okay, but anyways, Nasrat, he had a really good fight against Esteban Ribovic. A lot of people thought Ribovic won that fight. I thought it was an insane fight. It could have went either way, but I'm not even going to lie, looking back on it, I mean, I think Ribovic probably won that fight. If I'm right too, Nasrat is on I'm trying to end that with a Q, what the fuck, but Nasrat is on a 5-fight win streak. He's coming back. He's had a few losses. I'm pretty sure he got KO'd by, I don't remember who the fuck he got KO'd by, I'm sorry, but he got KO'd in one of his like fights before he went on this win streak. Pretty solid win streak too. I'd definitely say his Esteban Ribovic, and then he beat another lightweight that was pretty well known. I think it was Jared Gordon, if I'm right. So I think that those 2 back-to-back wins, that's pretty good, especially with Quillan. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm gonna go with Quillan. I got Quillan by knockout. I'm just gonna go for it. I don't really know much about Nasrat. Nothing against the guy, but I think highly of Quillan, to do what he did to fucking Jubilee. That was a crazy ass knockout. It's good to see him back, and I mean, for real, if I'm right, did he fight another time or no? Hold on, I want to look real quick. Yeah, he fought Ashimos, which, did he win that by knockout? He won that by knockout, if I'm right. I could be really wrong, but I don't really, fuck it, I mean, I guess I'll look. No, it was a decision. Okay, my bad. It was a decision. But still, I got Quillan Salkild. I think he's got it by knockout, if not decision. Nasrat, especially taking a lot of damage in that Esteban Ribovic fight. He was getting hit a lot. I think someone like Quillan, you do not want to get hit by. So, yeah, I got Quillan. I'd probably say decision or like maybe second round KO. Moving on to the next fight, we got Ikram Aliskerov versus Jung Young Park. I probably got Ikram. I'm going to keep it real. I like Ikram. He took that short notice fight against Whitaker, and I got a lot of respect for him doing that. And I think he's a pretty solid fighter, an MMA fighter, like, for real, all around. Like, he has good striking. He's kind of like Umar. He got that tricky kickboxing in him, and then, he could shoot for the takedown, kind of keep you there. I'd say he's better on the feet, but little chinny. I think I could see Park maybe hurting him, but overall, I think I got Ikram. I'm going to say by decision. So, moving on to the next fight. Holy fuck, dude, I'm going to keep it real. This is probably going to be fight of the night. This is going to be a good-ass fight. Ludovic Klein versus Matthias Rebecki. Rebecki, his last 2 fights have been fucking insane. And Klein, of course, he had that fight with Gamrot. Didn't really go his way, but it's mainly because it's such a big jump. Especially for being a main event. Or I think it was a co-main, actually. But still, I think I got... it's a little hard. I want to say Rebecki, though. I think Rebecki could get it done in decision. If I'm right, he pulled off... No, Chris Duncan won his last fight. Pretty damaging fight. I guess you can't really take as much damage. I think I'm still going to go with Rebecki. I think Klein is a really good fighter, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people are overhyping him, and I think Rebecki... I don't know. Like, this is weird. These two, I think, definitely can earn a spot in the top 15 with whoever wins, so it's kind of like a pick'em, but I'm going to go with Rebecki. I'm going to just go with Rebecki by decision. That's how I feel. Next fight, don't know anything about. Walter Walker, this is what I want to talk about, versus Louis Sutherland. I don't know anything about Sutherland, so it was supposed to be Muhammad Usman, didn't happen. Walter Walker's probably going to win by another heel hook. Hopefully he can fight up, maybe against Lewis or Tybura or anyone. I mean, anyone. I think Walter Walker, as crazy as it sounds, he deserves to be fighting up now. He's kind of made a name for himself in the heavyweight division. So especially with his heel hook over Kennedy, which a lot of people thought was a dangerous guy, and Walter just shut that shit down. So I think he should be fighting up. But hey, I got Walter Walker first round heel hook. And I don't think anyone should be surprised by that. So Moving on to the next fight, we got Nathaniel Wood versus Jose Miguel Delgado. This is my fucking fight right here. Mainly because this is my little rant on Nathaniel Wood. A lot of people like Nathaniel Wood. I don't. Now, not once again, like, this is nothing against Nathaniel Wood. He is a great fighter. He's on a pretty solid win streak, if I'm right, too. Actually, no, he's on a 2-fight because he did lose his last fight to some Russian. I don't remember the guy's name, but he lost it to some Russian guy. Or I could be wrong. I'm completely wrong. I don't know. I just know he lost to a dude that kind of sounded like he had a Russian name. But Nathaniel Wood, I'm just going to keep it real. The UFC said it. They said it on UFC London. I'm pretty sure it was Michael Bisping. He's a 10-year prospect. Like, bro, it's like with Jake Matthews. Like, I'm just going to keep it 100, y'all. It is just like with Jake Matthews, man. Like, you're 10 years in your career in the UFC and you're still unranked. There is nothing against that. Of course, you're just building your career. He's been knocked out before. But man, Nathaniel Wood, man, every time, at least, when I first started watching UFC and then I started to get to know a little bit about Nathaniel Wood, every fight he's been in, I just do not like. Every fight. It is just a very boring decision fight. I know that sounds very casual, but I feel like, I feel like I'm trying to be fair at least and say that, he is a solid fighter. He definitely, I think if he could take this fight to the distance, he could hurt Delgado. But I feel like with Delgado, with the little streak that he's on, especially watching his knockout back on Hyder Emil, I think Delgado is going to knock him out. I 100%. I think Delgado, the way he brings it, the way that he just cleanly knocked out Hyder Emil in that fight just so smoothly, like it was nothing. I watched the Guru and O'Malley podcast, and they kind of talk about this fight. O'Malley thinks really highly about Delgado, thinks he's the featherweight O'Malley, and I'm not going to lie, I kind of agree with that. The way Delgado just moves is very just shifty, very much just in and out whenever he's striking, and he's very fucking fast compared to Nathaniel Wood, who couldn't even knock out Morgan Cherie, who isn't that great of a fighter. I would say that he's probably like the featherweight Cape. I have nothing against Nathaniel Wood, but mainly it's just where I took this disliking for him was because of that performance. I'm just not the biggest fan of that performance because there was multiple times where he hurt Morgan Cherie and did nothing to finish the fight. So overall, I got Jose Miguel Delgado. I got Jose Delgado getting the fucking first round KO. And yeah, that's what I think, 100%. Moving on to the next fight, though, we got Hammy Aldelwaab. Holy fucking hell, man. What a name. Versus Chris Barnett. This is just a meme fight. I got Hammy by first round flying. What's that fucking burger place called? There's a burger in a bar. It's called Stay Tuned Burger. And it's in a bar. And it's not called Stay Tuned Burger. I got Hammy by first round flying Stay Tuned Burger. That's what I got. Because that's the meme and that's what I'm going to roll with. Just two big boys going at it. So hopefully they have fun. Damn dogs. Don't care about these fights. That's pretty much it. That's the rest of these damn predictions. You guys have a good rest of y'all's day. I'll probably be uploading again because I just got done playing the Marvel Rivals Zombies mode and I want to talk about that. And I also got done finishing Gen V and I talked about Peacemaker, Tron, and fucking Marvel Zombies TV show. So I just want to talk about that. You guys have a good rest of y'all's day and yeah, I'll see you.